Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we talk all things about gaming. In today's video, we will be discussing a topic that I'm sure most of us can relate to. That is the value of video games. So, have you ever found yourself wondering why some games are more expensive than others? Or why some free games seem to waste our time more than paid ones? Well, today we're gonna talk about it and discuss the topic further, and why it's important to look beyond just the price tag of a game. Let's start by addressing the fact that many of us fail to see the true value of a video game. We often focus solely on the price tag and fail to consider the quality of life utilities that a game provides. What I mean by that is that cheaper games may seem to be a good deal, but often have time-wasting elements that can frustrate and bore players. On the other hand, more expensive games or hidden gems that may not be so expensive may offer better quality of life utilities, such as saving time and making gameplay more enjoyable. As gamers, we need to prioritize games that respect our time and value it the most. This means opting for games that provide better gameplay experiences rather than just being a means to save a few coins. It's important to vote with our money and support games that prioritize the player's time and entertainment needs. While free games may seem like a great deal, we need to be conscious and consider the hidden costs. Some free games are designed to waste our time and energy, while others may use significant manipulative tactics to extract money from the players. Ultimately, we need to be mindful of the true value of a video game beyond just the initial cost. This includes all sorts of utilities in the game, and of course, we should be mindful of other things, such as all those manipulative tactics that we may see nowadays. Now, you may have noticed that lately, a lot of video games try to advertise themselves as free, while at the same time having a lot of hidden costs like that. Some notable examples include Diablo Immortal or Black Desert Online or anything like that, and oftentimes they may have a lot of elements that frustrate us and then sell us the solution, basically. In my opinion, such games should be avoided, even if they end up being a little cheaper on the start, and later, of course, the cost will be more high, sometimes even surpassing the normal cost of a video game. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is how usually the price is not correct or accurate. Sometimes the time we get of entertainment is actually not of high quality, and we may actually overspend compared to the experience that we actually get. So considering all that, here is an example. Lately, one of my favorite video games is Path of Exile. It is free to play on Steam and actually highly recommended. It's been already out for 10 years and it has a growing player base. There is another game out there that is called Last Epoch that I played recently, and it's actually quite popular since its release of online play. That being said, even though I like the depth and the sheer amount of content that Path of Exile have provided over the years, I still find Last Epoch to be more of a, let's say, quality of life improvement type of game of the same type. For example, even the small addition of a sorting button saves a lot of time to the player, as long as having like a separate inventory space simply for materials to go directly with one button click. This small save of time actually adds up, especially when people go for multiple runs and multiple playthroughs. And on top of that, changing your abilities and experimenting with new builds is actually quite easier. Not perfect though, but still quite easier and more accessible. Contrary to that, in Path of Exile, I have noticed that there is a lot of clutter and there's a lack of inventory, and we are supposed to actually purchases with basically the same amount of money that we spent on Last Epoch. Actually, sometimes a little more. And you end up actually paying way more for Path of Exile in the end if you are serious about playing it than you would otherwise pay for Last Epoch. And that's only one example. Recently, a very good friend of mine actually gifted me Last Epoch, so I had to try it. And it was actually quite modern and well thought out. Of course, it is not as mature as Path of Exile since it has a lot of experience of 10 years worth of content to release. However, it seems more put together, let's say. Or in other words, it feels more polished, more well constructed and structured. Personally, I love video games, but the amount of time at once I had to spend on all those dailies and weeklies and stuff like that actually added up to the point where I noticed that it was becoming quite a chore and quite like a full-time job, just to keep up with the basic things. Needless to say that this is a follow-up to my previous video, which I may not have covered the topics too well. However, on my previous video, if you want an update, I talked about how we don't need only one game, we can just have a collection of games and still be okay with it, as long as all those games are high quality. So yeah, with that being said, that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. For the most part, the point is how video games sometimes seem to waste our time, and how we should be more aware and conscious about this fact, and actually how we should actually be voting with attention and energy towards things that actually are efficient and of course a lot of fun. So that being said, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and if you would like, you can subscribe, like, and all that stuff. Thanks for staying with me for all this time, and have a good one.